routine, mate?
Let's pick it up.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Where is he? PT, yeah? PT now. They miss you at training the other day, mate. Hey?
I don't know how many three-man tackles in the night, but fair dinkum was plenty of them.
Yeah, you must be pretty proud of that.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a terrific game of footy. You know, you don't get many 6-0 games in the game rugby league anymore, but they were two committed footy sides, and you know they were willing to do anything they possibly can to be part of a successful team. You know, so I'm just really proud of the team and the fellas, the way they committed to the cause. We knew it was going to be a hard game, and you know they kept on hanging in there and did a terrific job.
Did you expect it to be that hard, though, Mel?
Oh yeah, I mean, without that sort of without a really good attitude and understanding of what the occasion is, you know, we wouldn't have delivered that result. You know, so I thought our preparation through the week was really, really good, and we knew what we needed to do. Again, when you look at the nil scoreline, really proud of the way they defended again and had to keep on coming up with special efforts, particularly in that second half, and they just kept on doing things for each other, but also for the green and gold jersey. So, you know, it was a special night, I think, for both sides, and a special night for rugby league.
Someone said you consumed 16 points in the tournament before it started. What you said to them?
You know, I mean, I think the team. Well, I know the team is. They brought in everything we've tried to achieve in the last couple of years, and we talk about the rise and the rise of international rugby league, and they understand their standing in that and becoming, you know, great ambassadors for our great game, particularly at the international level. So, and all the players thrive on that. They love what they do. They love, you know, the international stage. They love playing for the Kangaroos. So, you know, it's a special moment for the team, and I think it's, like I said before, it's a special moment for international rugby league tonight. I thought it was a terrific game. It reminds me of the old days, you know, 6 blot, and you had to fight really hard for everything you got.
Have you seen a better defensive team from Australian sides? Yeah, that's pretty special. Is this the best you've seen?
Oh yeah, I mean, the whole international side, you know, the quality of England to zero. You know, takes special efforts all the time, and a lot of courage and a lot of determination. You know, as you see, both teams were fatigued. It was a pretty hot and humid night, so they were sapped. The energy was sapped, but they just keep on coming up with the right decisions, and for us, you know, the right results. No, it's crucial, but you know that's expected of us. You know, that's the game. You know, and when you prepare through the week, you know, you got this, you know, image in your mind that you're going to come up with something that's going to make a difference. And you know, Josh come up with something that made a difference to the result.
Cameron, how does this compare with previous England teams you played against?
Oh, they were very good. Going back to maybe 06. Well, it was Great Britain then. When I first started my international career, it was Great Britain in the Tri Series, and that was the only game I think I've been beaten by an English Great Britain side. So that I think they would match up against those guys. They were very good, very good. Yeah, we could only manage to score 1 try against them, and we didn't really spend a whole lot of time down their end. You know, they played a great game of football tonight. You know, they knew that they had to play their best game to be a chance of winning. It was just fortunate that we played extremely well also.
What went through your head, King, when Watkins broke away?
I knew Dukes had him. I think as Mal said, you know, there's probably a lot of big plays that happened throughout the game. That one just stands out because if he would have got away, then we would have been in a bit of strife. But I'd like to think we had a couple of guys coming from the inside. But you know, Dukes knew that was his man. He had to make that effort to get his job done and get his job done for his teammates. And it's been happening the whole tournament. That's why we've only conceded 3 tries in 6 matches.
Cam, what were your feelings when the full-time siren went? Was it one of relief?
No, it wasn't relief. No, I was just extremely pleased for the football side and our entire squad and our staff. We've put a lot of hard work into this campaign, and I mentioned on stage it wasn't just 6 weeks ago we started this. We've been building for this for a couple of seasons now, a couple of years. So when Mal took over, we spoke about where we wanted to take this team, and being the 2017 World Cup winners was part of that plan. So I was just very pleased for the entire squad that we were able to create history tonight. We did. The last time an Australian side won a World Cup on home soil was 40 years ago. The 2017 Kangaroos have made history tonight. That's pretty something. That's pretty special for us.
Does it make it even more special that you got to do it with Cooper and Billy, who you've been playing with since 2003?
Yeah, it's been playing with those guys since 01 actually, still kids. So yeah, it's it's always special to be able to run out with those two guys. We've been together now since we were 17, and it's been a very long, very enjoyable and successful careers that we've shared together. There's been some lows in the careers of ours, but very much outweighed by the highs, and this is most definitely one of them. To be able to wear our country's colours on home soil, lift up a World Cup trophy, that doesn't get much better than that.
How exhausting was it, Cam? How exhausting was it?
Yeah, I was speaking to a few of the boys after the game, and a lot of them said that was the toughest game they played. For me, only because I've been around for a long time, that'd be top 3 or top 5 matches, Origin included, that I've played. That was just played at such great intensity. It was very physical, as Mal said. That's going back to the old Test matches that you used to watch on telly when you were a young fella, where you had to fight tooth and nail for every metre, every set, trying to get up the other end. It was just they're the games you want to be a part of, though. They're the ones you want to win, the ones you have to fight so hard for. I think you feel. It feels so much better to be able to walk off with a victory after those matches, knowing you've worked hard for it. But yeah, we have to give England a huge rap. They were fantastic tonight. They were well prepared. They were prepared to get into the grind, get into an arm wrestle with us, and our defence was what got us home tonight.
Would you like to see Wayne go on as England coach? He's built a good
Right, yeah, I was talking to him after game, and he's improving all the time, like you said, Pete. So it's up to him, but they made some huge strides tonight, I thought, and and it's good for the national game, isn't it? It's been a great tournament. We've got the Pacific Islanders, teams coming through, and create a lot of excitement with the campaign. And I thought Ireland was very good, through the qualifiers. They pushed, the Papua New Guinea side. So I'm obviously hoping that with this behind us now, that we keep on pushing forward within the National Rugby League and keep on, propagating the game at that level, and make it rewarding for all players that play for all countries, that they can play on a national stage on a regular basis.
What's Wayne done for the team? What have you seen? Do they have a harder edge?
I beg your pardon?
Does the England team have a harder edge under Wayne?
Possibly. I think it is a harder edge, but they're just playing quality rugby league, and they look like and they play like the Wayne Bennett coach sides. So they control the footy really well, and they get to the kick, and they try to play the field position game, and keep on turning up for each other defensively. Again, they've been really good all tournament as well. So he's got that hard edge and commitment around defence. And there's not too many chinks in their armour. So we found one tonight, and that was all. And with the hard edge you talk about, they were looking for chinks in ours and didn't find one. So that created the end result, 6 block. So like I said before, the whole England 2-0. I don't know. You go back to your records, through your records. I don't think that happens very often at all.
Now, where to next? When you talked about the momentum this tournament generated, we've only got one test match.
Yeah.
Next year.
Oh, well, that's for the big decision makers, isn't it? You know, and the National Rugby League Federation, I just think that there needs to be more events. So I know there's an appetite for it, and we're just got to. I think they've got to sit down, all the decision makers, and look at a schedule. You know, not only for us and the tier 1, but also the tier 2 nations. Have a look at all the emerging nations. I look at Lebanon, how well they went in this tournament. You know, so. Just start to put it back on the agenda, make it a bit of a priority. You know, that'd be nice. Make it a priority, because it is a point of difference for us, rugby league. You know, having a national program. So I'm hoping that all the decision makers, particularly at the national level, see merit, and we'll push forward with. I think we just need to play more games, more events. You know, not just the Kangaroos, but everybody on the national stage.
Do you think the NRL season has to be shortened for that to happen?
Well, it's hard. I mean, it's been a hard, arduous season for the players, not only with their domestic season, but also with State of Origin. So, I mean, the money for the players come from the domestic season. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say. No, we've got to shorten the season. But we've got to be more creative with that. Doesn't mean to say we've got to play fully fledged Kangaroo side every year. We can look at emerging programs and look at our next generation. We can always do. We're already doing a Prime Minister's 13 game up in Papua New Guinea, which is benefits for the game up there. We look at Australia. We can we're only sort of conditioned by imagination, really. If we can come up with different events that we did the Tri Nations. How good was that? I thought that was a great success. Prior to the World Cup with Fiji and Panji competing with us, So, yeah, there's a whole heap of things that I think we do the international 9. So there's a whole heap of things that need to be laid out on the table, and let's look at the scheduling and get as many national games going as possible.
Cameron, you just finished probably the most arduous season. Imagine Origin going right to December. With that experience in mind, can the players handle it?
Well, it's tough. In all honesty, if there was test matches on next year that the Kangaroos play, I'll put my hand up and play them. Does it mean that it may result in a fair bit of fatigue and burnout? Yeah, it would, because we play a lot of football games. At the moment, as Mal said, the money that's coming, the revenue that's coming into our game is through a broadcast deal, which means we have to play a certain amount of games, and the players understand that, so we're committed to fulfilling those commitments. But I agree with Mal. We need to sit down. Everyone needs to sit down and let's be creative about our schedule. Let's be smart about it, so everyone benefits from our calendar. The NRL season, obviously, State of Origin is going to be a part of that. We have an international calendar where we see those Pacific nations playing. We see teams like Lebanon and Ireland and Wales and Scotland playing. But it's a real thing. Fatigue's a real thing. We've seen it in our squad throughout this tournament after a long series. Most of the guys in there have played 3 Origins. They played most of the 24 matches for their clubs and some finals games. So I think we just need to be smart about how we do that. I think we can do it.
Surely the only way Cam is to shorten the club season though, because Origin
It is.
been condensed. So would you recommend this
For me, that's the simplest way to do it. But at the moment, we've got commitments to broadcasters, and that's fair enough. So.
Cameron, let's last one. Cameron.
Sorry, boys.
Come on. We need to celebrate. Come on.